Scott, how can investing in automation today help create stability amidst this turbulent time and economic uncertainty?
Yeah, as most of us know, there's lots of reasons to automate, lots of good things that can happen in an organization when they, adopt automation. But the big thing I'm seeing right now is that there's so much uncertainty with tariffs and different things that are happening that CEOs of companies aren't willing to spend the capital right now to automate. And so what we're trying to say is now's the time to deploy that capital. They talk about business cycles and we may be in a lull of manufacturing business cycle, but we're going to begin that recovery. And when the recovery happens, orders are going to break loose for factories, and that's when they're going to be starting to try and automate during that chaos. So, certainly I would say the recommendation is take this opportunity to invest in automation while we're in a lull, so that you can have the system up, running, employees trained, and be able to take advantage of that. And there's other reasons, that we're looking at the cost of goods going up, the cost of machinery is going up, and as soon as we hit that recovery spike, that will accelerate. So to be able to purchase that equipment at the pricing we're at now versus when things are really cracking, that it will cost more to automate at that point. There's also the ability to not necessarily reduce headcount, but reduce headcount on a line to be able to have them available for other places so that people can take advantage of the upswing when that comes. So not all of the reasons to automate, not even all the reasons to automate during a chaotic economy, but some of the top ones that come to my mind.
Absolutely. Maybe some of these other gentlemen, you want to pitch in on any other reasons or what you see in this sort of situation?
I think companies are also realizing that uncertainty is going to be baked in now, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be, some of this chaos will straighten itself out, but some is going to continue on. So how do you build processes that are more robust, more flexible, that can sort of stand up to some of these waves that are going to continue to hit the whole supply chain, the whole trade ecosystem?
Yeah, a similar comment. We think of it in terms of resiliency and flexibility. Do you have the resiliency in your processes to go through those spikes? The flexibility. Everybody after supply chain wanted a big red easy button that I know I'm making this today, but I want to make this tomorrow. So adding robotics, adding automation to things gets you further down that path.
And I'll say what I've seen with my customers and people that I've worked with in the industry, we've gone through a few cycles since I've been here, right? You guys have been through several cycles. The companies that really come out of these ahead, right, are the ones that take the opportunity during those lull times to invest in themselves. Whether that means investing in more capacity production-wise, or investing in internal systems that make you more flexible and more resilient, investing in potentially software that can make you more efficient, right? These are also the times that you have time to do that. Because we all know when orders are high and you're at full capacity and you're trying to find people to fill shifts, and that's not the time that you have to take on any of these extra projects. And it can be very difficult to juggle, right? Putting in new things at the same time as you're at full capacity and you just need to run and you just need to get product out the door. So this is really the opportunity that you could take to position yourself to be more competitive for the future.